Hi everyone, this is Alma coming to you from Huntington Beach, California. Today is Wednesday, January 10th of the year 2024, and this is my special edition of my FlossTube channel videos. This is going to be my WIP parade that I tend to do twice a year. In the beginning of the year, close to the beginning of the year. Uh, Oh, it's been chaotic. I've been trying to record this video for like 2 weeks. And if it's not one thing, it's another. First of all, my boyfriend was working from home, so he was constantly in like conference calls, and it was just, yeah, I didn't want to deal with that like in the background. And then, um, I don't know if it's the weather or what's going on, but the dogs in the neighborhood have just been chaotic. They've been in hysterics for the past like 5 days, just constant, non-stop barking. And then on top of that, the next door neighbors got a puppy for Christmas. So that's a whole new, like, different set of chaos, right? Um, and then the upstairs neighbors, I don't know what they're doing. Originally I thought they were like doing construction work, because it's constant like banging noises, scraping sounds. They drop stuff, like heavy stuff, like you just hear the really loud like thud. Um, but I don't know what they're doing up there, but that's also been going on constantly for the last week or so. So today has been like the first day that I finally have some peace and quiet, and I can sit down and actually record this. So yeah, welcome. As always, welcome to all of my current viewers, and yeah, my current viewers and my subscribers, and thank you as always for your continuing support. And if this is your first time stopping by, then welcome. This is, as always, like with parades are always a good, a good way to kind of get introduced, right, to a new channel. So welcome you all. I hope that you like what you see, what I have to show you today, and you find a reason to stay, subscribe, and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. As per usual, when I do these WIP parades, I'll go ahead and film them in such a way that if you skip over my regular FlossTube videos and you just go from WIP parade to WIP parade, you won't miss a thing. So I'll show any finished WIPs, or any WIPs that I've finished since the last WIP parade, even if I've already shown them in my regular FlossTube videos. Um, so let me go ahead and get myself sorted, because I do have cover photos that I need to not drop, because that would be bad. So yeah. Okay. Hopefully we'll be able to do this without a hitch. Without further ado, let's get to the stitching. And the first WIP that I want to show you is my oldest WIP. I'm gonna be showing these in chronological order from start date. I do need my cell phone for this, now that I think about it. But my oldest WIP right now is my Mini 1. This is by Cindy Nielsen, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And as you can see from the bottom, I started, well, if you could see, if the camera wanted to focus, I started this on August 30th of the year 2018. So it'll be 15. Whew, I can do math. No, 5 years old. Is it 5 years old? I can't do math really. 9. I don't even know. Apparently I can't do math right now. Anyway, this hasn't gotten worked on since the last time I showed it to you. Even though I said I wanted to work on it, I actually did not. This is still sitting at 31,750 stitches, which is 44% according to Pattern Keeper. And this is what we have so far. For this one, I do want to go ahead and just move my way down forward. I was going to leave the woman, for last, but I just decided against it. I was like, whatever. It's full coverage. Like, it's not like, if I were to have to add like back stitching or something, then maybe I would do like one section at a time, but it doesn't matter for these. and I'm stitching her on 18 count Ada. That's the easy guide. um, I got this as a kit from Haid. First and last time I've ever gonna do that. It was way too expensive, but you live and learn. The next WIP I want to show you is a pattern that I found on Etsy. This is Sleeping Beauty. Oops, Sleeping Beauty from Stitch Fairy Treasures. And this one is going to be a focus piece for this year. For the last few years, what I've done is I've chosen a WIP and then split it up into 12 different sections and then stitched a section a month. And so that by the end of the year, I have a finished WIP. And I'm doing this along with, some of my cross-stitching friends and I were trying to like root each other on and cheer each other on, so that we could, get some finishes so that we can finish our WIPs. So that's the piece that I chose for this year. And I've already done, like, as soon as the new year hit, January 1st, I went ahead and I stitched the section for January. So this is where she's at. I'm currently sitting at 20,807 stitches, which is 80% of the WIP. And on one of the last Pattern Keeper updates, this was finally compatible with it. So I was doing it page by page. You can kind of see where some of the page breaks. Oh. Mirror Alma. You can kind of see like where some of the page breaks were. But since that update, I've been able to just be more flexible with how I stitch. So those 500 stitches that that's the thing is each month I do 500 stitches. Is how that's gonna work. But yeah, so the 500 stitches for each month for this month were all done in one color because I was able to travel more freely with that. So that's that one. And again, hopefully by the end of the year I'll show you a finished WIP, at least that finished WIP. Next up is another pattern that I found on Etsy. This is Watercolor Floral from Stitchery Stitch. I started this on May 1st of the year 2019. And Sleeping Beauty was started on January 6th. I don't know if I said that. But this one is May 1st, and this one hasn't really gotten stitched on since the last time I filmed my WIP parade, I don't think. I'll confess, I did not go through. I usually go through and watch my old videos so I can, visualize where I was. But I was just so eager to record this that I just did it. Anyway, so this is where it's at right now. According to my calculations, which is general because there is a lot of white space on this, I am about a third of the way done with it, 33%. Feels odd to me, but it is what it is. So yeah, I do want to finish it. I did UFO a couple of WIPs last year, that I just wasn't like I hadn't stitched them in a long time, and I just wasn't feeling it at all, so I just UFO'd them. This one hasn't gotten there quite yet, but yeah, I'll stitch on it and reevaluate if need be. Anyway, next up is one of my Haids. This is Moon Charmer, and I'm trying to get this. If I look over here, it's because that's where I have the camera screen or the video screen, so I can see what you are looking at, make sure that everything is in frame. So if I'm looking over on this side, I apologize. Sorry, not sorry, but anyway, this is Amy Stewart's Moon Charmer, charted by Haid. I started this on May 20th of 2019. And this is one of my big ones. This is one of my not just my big pieces, but major focus. I am at 71,367 stitches, which is 28.94%. And hopefully I can get this all in frame. And apparently I cannot get all of this in frame, which is fine. Most of it is in frame. The vast majority of my stitching this year has been on this bottom left. I just started, I started going through the tree, and I just started taking care of the confetti stitches. There's a lot of there was a lot of color change in that section. You know, you can still see. I have some to go there still. But yeah, I just decided to just go down, make my way down, get all those stitches taken care of, and then once I made my way down to where the grass started, I decided to start on the black. I thought I don't this has a ton of black. A ton of black stitches, and I said I don't want to leave them all for the end. So uh I just I started on her hair, and I'm going to work my way down cuz the entire that entire bottom corner is going to be all black mostly. So that's why I thought it made sense to do her hair, because it would just merge with the shadows from the grass and her dress and her hair and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do like maybe 500 stitches a month on her. But I say that I tried that this year. I picked like five or so WIPs that I was going to work on monthly, and I think I ended up only really sticking to one of them for the most part. I actually fell out of that one too, so I didn't stick to on any of them. So yeah, so I would hope so. It's nice. It's nice to hope. It's nice to plan, but everything falls apart. Anyway, the next one is Tilton. I feel like you guys should start a drinking game to see how many times I say anyway, because I feel like I've said that like 4 times already. The next WIP that I want to show you is Wonder Woman from Tilton Crafts. The artist is Daniel Kordek, and you will see plenty of these. They're a theme. I love him. I love his style. And this was one of the first that I started. She hasn't gotten any progress since the last WIP parade, I don't think. This is where we're at so far. And I did add 500 stitches, at least 500 stitches on all of my WIPs. The 500 stitches for her were mostly on this section. I'm trying to get all the way to the corner, to hit that upper corner, so then I can have like a frame of the entire WIP, and then I can just work on another section. But she is currently sitting at 21,000 stitches, which is about 17.2%. Next, I started something similar. I started Esmeralda, which is also charted by Tilton Crafts based on Daniel Kordek's artwork. I don't think this is available anymore. From the last time, I think it was taken down from Tilton Crafts. But, and I also haven't really worked on her since the last time I showed it to you. I believe, yeah, because this is where the tambourine goes. I think so. This is where she's at. This year I started working on the yellow colors that are right in that middle section there, and I'm just gonna follow that straight to the other edge, and then just work my way down. Once I hit that top corner, I'm just gonna work my way down. She is currently sitting at 13%, 13.86% with 17,000 stitches. I started her on November 6th. I don't know. Wonder Woman was started on November 1st. I don't know if I said that, but this was on November 6th. both stitched on 18 count data. That's gonna be my standard. So like, unless otherwise stated, full coverages are 18 count data. That's just, I like the coverage for that, using 2 strands. Shortly thereafter, I started yet another Chilton Crafts chart based on Daniel Kordek's artwork. This is Snow Girl, and I started her on the 23rd of November in 2019. And this one, again, I don't think it's gotten any stitches since I showed it to you in my last WIP parade. I am sitting at 22,660 stitches, which is about 18%. I mainly just focused on this section right here this year. I think for the most part, I am done. There's like a confetti stitch here and there, but for the most part, I am done with that side. So I would like to just follow the stitches, finish everything that surrounds the apple, and then start on this side of the design. Although, I mean, I started these that way, but then I read, so I don't know where I read it, but I read somewhere that it was better almost to start on the bottom corners, and work your way up, so that as you stitch, the weight of the stitched section starts falling like down towards your lap, as opposed to like over your Q-snap or your frame or whatever. You know, take that for what it is. I don't know. Next up is one of my hates. This is June. Artwork is by Anna Dittman. She has an entire series of these. And I started her on the 26th of June in 2019. We were all bored, right? This was like right when the pandemic hit. Well, not right, but this is the year that the pandemic first hit. So we were all bored, and we were trying to keep our sanity. And mine was just start all the things, I guess. My way was just to start all the things. So this is where she's at. I added those 500 stitches, but I haven't really added much else. She's sitting at 10,475 stitches, which is barely 4.1%. She's one of my larger designs. Yeah, this is one of the first times that I really started like considering that I had to go up a stitch count, like go from 18 count to something that would be smaller, because otherwise I would be stitching tapestries, full on tapestries. The next WIP I want to show you is my Disney Villain Ladies. I got this from Zana Cross Stitch on Etsy, and I started this on January 17th of the year 2020. When you buy this, you get 4 different patterns, so each panel is split up. But I'm stitching this as a whole. I'm stitching this as an entire WIP, and this is where we're at. I did stitch on this one quite a bit since the last time I showed it to you. As you can see, I did finish Ursula's face, and I did start on her chest. I'm gonna leave the shell necklace for later. I just want to finish the skin first. I'm currently sitting at 40% done of the entire piece. We're talking like, if we consider all 4 panels, just 25,000 stitches, 25,084 stitches to be exact. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this is coming through. I did take some time and just work through the confetti stitches on her upper face, and I still need to do the eyelashes, obviously, but yeah, I'm really happy with how this is coming along. and hopefully I can finish. Maybe that's I should start writing these down, these ideas down. Maybe that is something I do this year. Is just finish the Ursula panel at least, and then move on to something else. All the plans, and then everything just goes out the window. Next up is a pattern from Mystic Stitch Incorporated, which unfortunately has gone out of business, I believe, because of the pandemic. This is Change of Seasons 2. I started this with Zakia from Lady Wing Designs. We both started this together on Leap Day, February 29th of the year 2020. And I'm woefully behind on this. We had originally intended to finish this not this Leap Day, but the next one. Because this is a leap year already, which is insane. So the way I am stitching on this, though, is I'm trying to stitch on each season as it comes along, as we're in it. So this is what we're at so far. Clearly, I have not stitched this during the summer months. I believe that's summer. Yeah, fall, winter, spring, summer. Yeah, yeah. I stand by it. um, so I have stitched on it already. I'm trying to stitch on it again, like once a month at least. So I did add 500 stitches for the month of January. But for the most part, since the last time I showed it to you, I added the stitches during spring. I added this, all the purple stitches for the purple tree. I'm currently sitting at 14.29%. So don't think I'm gonna finish it in 4 years. Well, I mean, I could if I like super hyper focused on it. But that's 27,000 stitches, 27,098 stitches to be exact. So that's where that one is. And the next WIP that I started was a design from Yanni Stitcher here on FlossTube. This is her Katrina pattern. And I started this on May 14th of 2020. And this is one of the few pieces that I was able to finish this year. I changed the colors a little bit on the paper mache flags, and I omitted the name Katrina. I didn't think it needed it. I know what it is. I know what she is. And yeah, the only other thing. Oh, and I finished her on July 24th. Is when I finished her, shortly after my birthday. I was just powering through this during summer session. I was working at the tutoring center during the summer session, and this is what I was working on when I didn't have any students coming in for tutoring. But the only other thing that I changed is the pattern is charted to be stitched on white. And this is, I mean, I don't know if you can, the lighting is odd now that the sun's setting, or the sun's almost gone really. But it's beige. It's like this beige color that this random 14 count data that I had on hand. So I had to manually like stitch the white face paint. And I had to like restart this like 2 or 3 times because I kept miscounting. But yeah, she's one of my finishes, and I'm very proud of how she turned out. The back stitching is just everything. The back stitching really just brought everything together for the details on the face. The next piece that I started is one of my Dimensions kits. This is Mason Jar Lineup. Quite a popular design for a bit. Like it was, I say it's hard to find, but I also wasn't looking that hard. It was more like if I was at Michael's or Joann's, I would look to see if they had it in stock, and it was always out of stock. But I didn't go so far as to look like at 123 Stitch or any other online shops. Um, I started this on May 22nd, the year 2020, and this is what I have so far. I finally started that second flower. The first two jars are like 99% done. Yeah, I don't think I have any more. Obviously, there's back stitching that I have to do, but I don't think I have any more stitching left on it. So, small improvement. This is also one of the pieces that I would like to stitch on at least once a month. Um, but again, I make all these wonderful plans, and then it's nice now. Like, because I was out of school and I had all this free time, but even as I was going through, because I was like, okay, 500 stitches here, 500 stitches there, and even as I was going down my list, I was like, this is a lot. I'm not gonna be able to do this during the school semester. So we'll see. The next one that I started, I am gonna have to show you on my phone because I don't have the cover photo for it. But it's a pattern by Ink Circles. I think it's the only pattern by Ink Circles that I've ever done. This is Relentless. We'll see if the camera behaves, because it was not behaving for my video when I was recording in Spanish, and you can see my Excel spreadsheet. That's great. Well, you know what? I can't. And focus. Let's try one more time and then I'm gonna give up. Yeah, okay, no. This is gonna be an issue. I don't like the reflection. Also, I don't know if you can hear the sirens going in the background, but it is what it is. What about now? Okay, it's a little darker. Alright, it's not gonna be working the way that I want it to, at least. This one hasn't gotten any updates or any more stitching done since the last time I showed it to you, and I'm showing you the backside. Uh, this is what we're at so far. I may just work on this monthly as well, or at least just work like a color at a time. Color completion seems like it's going to work really well for this piece. Um, I'm doing this on a silk weaver fabric that I had lying around, but I don't know. It's 18 count, but I don't know what the name of it is. But yeah, I'm currently sitting at 5,080 stitches, which is 38%. 38% just black alone. What a concept, black. Just all over the place. After that, I started another aid. I started Mini Soaring Free 2. The pattern is by Heaven Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Joan Marie. Again, fairly popular designs. A lot of people have stitched it or are stitching it, and I always thought it was really pretty. This one got the 500 stitches, and then I moved on to something else. This is alright so far. And according to my spreadsheet, I am sitting at 3,194 stitches, which is 4.5%. And the glare on my glasses is also wild. I don't have eyes, apparently. But, I considered just waiting until tomorrow when I have more natural light to record this, and I thought, but what if my boyfriend works from home tomorrow? What if it's, the gardeners come again? Because tomorrow's Thursday. I'm pretty sure they come on Thursdays. So, yeah, it's fine. You can handle the lighting. It's fine. Next up is the partner to June. This is July. Another pattern from Anna Dittman, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this one, for whatever reason, I decided to start uh, on the right corner, the top right corner. So this is what we're at so far. And for this one, I did add more than the 500 stitches that I promised myself. I I got in a groove. I was in the mood, and I just kept going with it. So it did get quite a bit of the stitching done. It's backwards. Um, just all that color, that really really light pink, and I just kept going with it. I just ran with it, kept going with it. Sitting at 2.28% with 5,328 stitches. Uh, it's all my full coverages. It's every single full coverage. Next up is another design, another pattern by the same, or another WIP by the same designer, same artist. This is T. Artwork by Anna Dittman, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock Holmes from the BBC series Sherlock. I adore that series, or at least the first half of it. Second half was questionable, but still, very fond memories of that series, and this is where we're at so far. I think for this one, I also just kind of kept going with it after I finished the 500 stitches. For the most part, I wanted to keep going with the hand to kind of expand a little bit to this side, um, and then filled in a lot of confetti stitches here as well. But yeah, this is also quite massive. According to my notes here, I'm at 5,210 stitches, which is 3.2%. So these, yeah, these Dittman designs are the ones that made me question my life decisions. Before finding the 25 count that you'll see in a lot of my full coverages now, which, starting with the soaring free too. Anyway, that was started on July 1st, and then on July 13th, my birthday, I started my portrait of Veronica from Mirabilia for myself. This one I had picked as the WIP that I was going to split into 12 different parts and stitch one section a month for a finish in 2023. I am sad to say I fell off the wagon around September. I was doing well. I was getting it done until until I started stitching her skin. I asked some of my stitching friends. We took a vote, and majority of us voted to do the skin 1/1 because I like how it looks. I hadn't done it myself, and this is my first Mirabilia. But I wanted to take that extra effort, but apparently it proved to be too much because I was like, no. But anyway, this is where we're at so far. She's so close. She's gotten so much done. I'm stitching this on a is it 32? Believe it's 32. It's an even weave. I don't even remember what the company's name is because it's gone out of business. But it is called Fairy Meadow. I do remember that part because I remember thinking it was perfect. I mean, the lighting is not doing it any favors. It's a lot more blue-green than it looks, but I do remember it being like, I saw it and I thought it was perfect for this. So yeah, I don't have that much to do. She is one of my, she is one of the pieces that I do hope to finish this year because I wasn't able to do it last year, so I thought, okay, I really do need to do it this year. I just gotta power through, hunker down, and do that skin, 1/1 skin. And then, for those of you that may not be aware, I do have a twin sister, so I decided that I was going to start something for her as well, and I will give this to her once I'm finished with it in a million years. This is The Eternal Promise from Hade. The artwork is by Matt Stewart. It's a piece that's inspired by the Lord of the Rings characters, Aragorn and Arwen. She adores that series. It's like one of her favorite things in the whole world. So, so making it for her, and this is also one of my big focuses. Obviously, because I do want her to have it and enjoy it. So this is what we're at so far, and I'm gonna have to like move it. I don't know. I essentially just finished an entire color. There we go. Um, I finished an entire color. I think it was like 844. I am currently sitting at 71,200 stitches, which is 16%, just above 16%. Um, when I started stitching on this holiday break, I ended up having to frog like this entire section, literally just this entire corner right here, because again I was doing a color completion and I was working my way from the top down, like I just went down the two sides of the design and then went like this, and so like the idea was to kind of just meet up at the middle. And so lo and behold, I got to the middle and I realized it wasn't lining up. So I had to I was again 71,000 stitches. Okay, 71,000 stitches. And I couldn't fudge it. You know, the mistake was in such a place. It was like in the middle. It was right where like the capes are here, somewhere here. It just I couldn't fudge it. I couldn't fudge something like that. So I had to frog 900 stitches, which made me really sad. And I remember my boyfriend, God bless him. He meant well because he knows that I can work really fast. Like if I'm not interrupted, if I have the time, I can stitch super fast. Which I mean, and you know, if you've been following me, then you know I can stitch fast. So when I told him I have to undo all of this and then fix it and redo them, he says, "Oh, that's okay. You'll get that done in no time. Like it's no problem." But it was 900 stitches. And, ooh, I just wanted to cry. I wanted to cry. But I did fix it in no time, but he doesn't need to know that. I think it took me. I was on a mission. I was on a mission, and this was like day 2 of my winter break. Like I had just gotten on winter break, so uh, so I just booked it. Like I was just shh. And yeah, it took me a day. I did 900 stitches in a day because I just wanted to fix it. I said I have to fix it now, otherwise, like the more it lingers, the more I'm going to like get upset over it, and I'm not gonna want to go back to it. So I had to fix it now before I stop working on it altogether. Because I considered it, you know. I was like, ah. But yeah. I think I'm going to pause there after that little side story. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just click pause and go ahead and film this in part 2, so that this doesn't become a gigantic video that I have to upload. Um, but yeah, as always, if you have any questions about any of the WIPs that you saw here today, you can always leave me a comment. I try to mention the ones that I know that are not available anymore, but I mean, I have so many WIPs, I can't just, I, it's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up with all of those. Um, but yeah, I'll go ahead and see you guys in part 2. Bye bye.